The red carpet treatment. Rishi Sunak's wife, Akshata Murthy, has confirmed she is a non-dom after it was revealed by the independent news website. But what exactly does non-dom mean?
Non-dom is someone who was born outside the UK, has come to the UK, living here perhaps for a long time, but doesn't have an intention to permanently stay in the UK.
We don't know Miss Murthy's particular tax circumstances, but experts do stress that being a non-dom can confer significant tax advantages if the non-dom chooses to pay their tax on what's known as a remittance basis, meaning that they only pay UK tax on their UK income, not on any income from elsewhere in the world.
In a statement to the BBC, Miss Murthy's spokesperson suggested her non-dom status and tax arrangements were an inevitable consequence of her Indian citizenship.
Akshata Murthy is a citizen of India, the country of her birth and parents' home. India does not allow its citizens to hold the citizenship of another country simultaneously. So according to British law, Miss Murthy is treated as non-domiciled for UK tax purposes.
Yet tax experts say this isn't the whole story.
She probably is a non-dom, and that's the only way it could be. But this special tax status you don't get by accident. You have to literally tick a box on your tax return claiming the remittance basis. It's a positive step that she will have taken.
So how many non-doms are there? Well, the latest tax statistics suggest around 76,000 of them at the end of 2020. But around 3 times that amount of people are estimated to have claimed non-dom status at some point over the past 2 decades. And new research by the London School of Economics and Warwick University sheds some really interesting and important light on this group and where they live.
They are overwhelmingly likely to be rich. For those earning up to £100,000 a year, the share of non-doms in that group is just 0.3%. For those earning between £500,000 and £1 million a year, it's 21%. But for those with an annual income of between £5 million and £10 million, it's 41%. The largest numbers come from the US, Western Europe and India. They are heavily represented in finance. 1 in 5 high-earning bankers have claimed non-dom status at some point. They are heavily clustered in London. They make up 1 in 10 of residents living in Kensington, the City of London and Westminster. Is the UK's non-dom regime generous by international standards? It has been tightened up in recent years by the previous Chancellor George Osborne. Claimants must now pay £30,000 a year in a special tax if they've been here for more than 7 years, something we're told Miss Murthy does. And after 15 years, non-doms are now deemed domiciled for tax purposes. Some smaller European countries, such as Malta, have similarly generous non-dom and so-called golden visa schemes. Yet by comparison with the US, the UK's non-dom regime certainly is generous. If you're a US citizen or a US permanent resident, you must pay US income tax on all your income, regardless of where it was earned. Some think there's a case for going further in reforming the UK non-dom system. So why hasn't the Treasury done so?
The tension with these rules is that being generous, they do genuinely attract high net worth, high income, high input individuals into the country. And that's always been seen as a benefit. But any rules which give tax breaks are costing other taxpayers money in the sense that less tax revenue is being collected for public services. So they've always had a degree of controversy attached to them. So that debate played out every time the non-domicile rules were looked at, which was fairly frequent.
With the spotlight on rising taxes for UK workers at a time of a severe cost of living crisis, particularly for the least well off, it's a debate which is likely to play out once again.